Big Mac is a student at Stony High School and is always made fun of because of his weight. Mac wanted to prove his peers wrong. Every day, Mac would go to the park to run a few laps, but one day after school, Mac was feeling hungry and ambitious, so decided to go to the local Taco Bell and brought $21.88 worth of beefy mini quesadillas and started shoving them down like a madman. Little did Mac know that Matt Stoney himself was watching him from a distance. Matt approached Mac. "Hey kid, what's your name?" Matt asked. "I'm Mac. Who are you?" Mac asked anxiously. "I'm Matt Stoney. Have you ever heard of me?" "No, I have not," replied Mac. "I see. Are you interested in joining my competitive eating dojo?" asked Matt. "Why do you ask?" Mac questioned. Matt explains that he saw Mac shove down all those beefy mini quesadillas and took interest in them. Mac said, "I'm sorry, I don't think I have the talent." "Of course you do. You ate 20 beefy mini quesadillas in 5 minutes. You have potential." Mac still refused because he didn't want to gain any more weight and walked home. Mac was feeling bored, so he turned on his television. He was watching a rerun of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. The competitors were Joey Walnut, Jeffrey Esper, Darren Breeden, and Matt Stoney. Mac was shocked. A professional competitive eater had invited him to train at his dojo. Mac continued watching and was impressed at how much food they could eat. Mac was inspired to pursue competitive eating as a career. This was his divine calling. He ran as fast as he could to the local Taco Bell to see if Matt was still there. Lucky for Mac, Matt was still enjoying his cheesy gordita crunch. Mac approaches Matt in a hurried fashion and asks, "Are you the real Matt Stoney?" "Of course I am." Mac asks if he can still train at his dojo. The kind man says yes. The next day, after school, Mac ran to Taco Bell because he had been dreaming about competitive eating all night and was excited to start training under the legendary Matt Stoney. At his dojo, Matt lays out various food items on a long table and uses a samurai sword to chop them up and pulls out a timer. Big Mac stares in astonishment. Matt says, "Are you ready, young one?" "I am," says Mac. Mac counts down from three, and Mac starts eating, shoving them down like he had not eaten for days. In about 4 minutes, Mac had eaten about 3 bowls of spaghetti, each a quarter of a pound, 2 bags of popcorn, and 4 Big Macs. After Mac had finished eating, Matt asked him if he was interested in the World Pasta Eating Competition for 4,000 crisp and handsome dollars. Mac was hesitant about entering the competition, so he said to Matt, "I'll think about it." Mac ran home to burn off the calories he had eaten at Matt's dojo. As he was running home, Mac remembered Matt had been the winner of the previous World Pasta Eating Competition and current record holder of the most pasta eaten in 8 minutes. Mac didn't want to be the fool who got last place. Mac contemplated for a bit, and he decided he would do it for the $4,000 reward. It was a week before the World Pasta Eating Championship. Matt booked flights to Las Vegas and hotel rooms at the Paris Hotel. Mac had been training all month for this moment. He was determined to win. Mac then asked Matt if he was competing. Matt replied, "Of course I am." This boosted Mac's enthusiasm. He would be able to test his skills against his master. It was the day of the eating competition, on October 7th. Mac had fasted for a day and was starving. At 1 p.m., at the Paris Hotel, Las Vegas, the competition started. Competitors were allowed to bring any drink of choice. The competition would last for 8 minutes, and the winner would be decided by the amount of half-pound bowls of pasta consumed. The commentator started to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin eating. Right away, Mac grabbed a bowl of pasta and started to devour it at a flying pace. After 15 seconds, Mac had already finished his first bowl. Mac felt very confident after completing this feat. The same went for the second bowl of pasta. Mac was now third place on the leaderboard. Mac took a sip of water and proceeded to eat his pasta in a hasty fashion. 3 minutes in, Mac had eaten 7 bowls of pasta. He had been slowing down after the third bowl but maintained his position on the leaderboard. In first place was Joey Walnut, in second place was Matt, and in third place was Mac. And 4 minutes in, Mac had just finished his ninth bowl. Matt was on his 11th. After Mac's 11th bowl, he started to feel full and started to get a gag reflex. He looked at the leaderboard and realized that he was falling behind. He was now fourth place. Mac couldn't accept this. He wanted to get at least third place. He had done so much training, he didn't want it to go to waste. Mac started to eat faster, ignoring the fact that he was full. He was pushing it to the limit. Mac was on his 17th bowl after 7 minutes. There were only 40 seconds left to eat. The contest was finally over. Mac had eaten 18 bowls and felt like he was going to throw up. On the top three was Joey Walnut in first place, with 24 bowls consumed. Matt Stoney in second, with 20 bowls consumed. And in third place, Mac, having consumed 18 bowls. Mac was pretty happy with his standing, but felt ill, so he consulted his master. Don't worry about it. You did pretty well. It happens if you eat too much. You should go do some exercises, Matt said. Suddenly, Joey Walnut approached them and looked at the two in a condescending manner. To beat me, train for another 100 years, declared Joey. He laughed and walked away. Mac was irritated. It felt like he was being mocked. The next day, Mac and Matt flew back home and resumed their training at the dojo. Hey Mac, are you interested in the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest on July 4th? If you are, you only have 8 months to train. Of course, Joey Walnut is going to be competing. Mac accepted the challenge. He wanted to defeat Joey Walnut. For 8 long months, Mac trained very hard. First, Matt told Mac that he had to lose some weight because his body fat would keep his stomach from expanding. To do this, Mac would compete in triathlons. Mac could lose weight while controlling his breathing. This is important because you need a rhythm to stick to eat faster. Otherwise, you'll run out of breath and you'll have to take a step back and relax. When Mac finished with this regimen, he had lost about 50 pounds. Mac now needed to increase his stomach capacity. To do that, Mac instructed him to drink large amounts of water in a short amount of time. By the time Mac finished his training, he was able to drink 1 gallon in about a minute. Mac instructed Mac to stick his toothbrush to the back of his tongue to get used to gag reflex. Next, Matt gave Mac 6 pieces of gum to chew. You need to work out your jaw muscles. You don't want them to get tired in the middle of the competition. Mac did this every day leading to the hot dog contest. Matt also made sure that Mac was recording himself when he was eating large quantities of food quickly so that he could see what was going on. 8 months of training had paid off. He was now on par with Matt Stoney and could eat about 25 bowls of pasta in 8 minutes. He could also drink 2 gallons of water in under a minute now. Mac had also lost so much weight that he looked like a totally different person. It was the day of the hot dog contest. Earlier, Mac had drunk a cup of strong coffee and some blended fruits and vegetables to clear out his intestines. He went out for a jog and drank a gallon of water. He ate a piece of fruit to get his body in the mood. He had learned that fasting was not the way to go. Matt once told Mac, think of competitive eating like a sport. You can't go into a marathon without having some food in your stomach because you need the energy to go through it. 6 hours later, at the hot dog contest, was Mac, wearing shorts with an elastic waistband and a loose t-shirt. There he saw the one and only Joey Walnut. Mac approached Joey. Oh, you're approaching me? Instead of running away, you're coming to me? Ignoring Joey, Mac kept walking towards him. Oh ho, then come as close as you like. Today is the day I will beat you, Joey Walnut. Oh, what a bold statement. I, Joey Walnut, will be the one to leave with $10,000 and a smile. You will leave with nothing but defeat. All competitors to the stage. The competition will start in 5 minutes. This will be a 10-minute contest. The person that eats the most hot dogs wins the contest, announced the commentator. Mac and Joey went to the stage. They were right next to each other. The competitors waited patiently. The competition will begin in 30 seconds. Mac was ready to begin, for he had learned the secrets of competitive eating. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin eating. Everybody in the crowd was cheering for Joey, but Mac was going to make them cheer for him. Each plate had 5 hot dogs and buns. Mac used a technique developed by the godfather of competitive eating, Takeru Kobayashi. Mac first separated the hot dog from the bun. With one hand, he grabbed two hot dogs and broke them in half and starts eating. Then, with the other, he dunks a bun in a cup of water. As he eats that, he breaks two more hot dogs. He does this over and over as fast as he can. Too slow, too slow. I, Joey Walnut, am the ultimate competitive eater. My speed and power far exceed yours, Mac, he yells. I just wanted to see how much more skill I, Joey Walnut, have compared to you. But it appears that a test was hardly necessary, exclaimed Joey. I'm barely warming up. If you thought that was all I had, then you're mistaken, declared Mac. Humph. I suppose I shall rise to your silly provocation and test you just a bit more. Mac starts pulling in insane amounts of hot dogs. He was now at 7, and only 30 seconds had passed. Mac was truly pushing it to the limit. Meanwhile, Joey was only at 5 hot dogs. No, no way! Joey could not believe this. Impossible! You must be cheating. Mac ignored the accusations and kept eating. 3 minutes in, Joey was slowing down, but he was still going strong. He had eaten 24 hot dogs and buns, and tied with Mac. 5 minutes in the contest, Mac and Joey were still fighting for first place. They were tied, having consumed 50 hot dogs. 9 minutes in, Mac and Joey are still tied, having consumed 69 hot dogs. There were only 30 more seconds left. How could Mac possibly defeat Joey? Mac had an idea. If he squeezed the bread, it would turn into a ball. Mac discovered that he could fit two of these in his mouth. He went from eating only one hot dog at a time to being able to eat two. 10 seconds left. Mac had already eaten 10 more hot dogs with this new strategy and was on the path to success. Joey saw this and started to mimic Mac, but he was already too late. Mac was just too far ahead. Impossible! How could this happen? I was the ultimate competitive eater, called upon by God himself. The crowd was cheering. Mac, Mac, Mac. At this moment, Mac realized that he wasn't doing this for the profit. He was doing this for the glory, the fame. Joey Walnut felt the icy grip of despair. He realized that his winning streak was over. He had been defeated. There was 5 seconds left. Mac had eaten 80 hot dogs, and Joey was at 76. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. In first place, we have Big Mac, who broke a world record, having eaten 81 hot dogs. And in second, we have Matt Stoney, having consumed 78 hot dogs. Mac was shocked. He was pretty sure that he and Joey were competing for first place. But how did Matt get second place? Finally, in third place, we have Joey Walnut with 77 hot dogs. Mac had finally bested Joey. It was at this moment that Joey had realized his grave error. He had made fun of the wrong person. Mac said out loud to his opponent, Joey, this is war, there's no holding back. You're playing competitive eating while I'm playing Death Note. You thought you could beat me with my own strategy because you are yet to realize that you are but a puppet, and I the puppeteer. Dance, Joey, dance! To beat me, train for another 300 years. Mac laughed and walked away. Mac reunited with Matt and asked how he got second place. I just pushed myself to the limit, answered Matt. Meeting Mac had allowed Matt to grow as a competitive eater. Mac's enthusiasm and desire to be better had re-inspired Matt. Every week, after training at the dojo, Matt would record himself eating huge quantities of food and post them on a site called YouTube, which inspired many to pursue the art of competitive eating. The two flew back home with $15,000. At school, Mac was treated like a hero while he told the school about the challenges he faced. He had gotten the fame and glory, just like he had wanted.